Oh my goodness. What an improvement in almost every aspect: character, world building, common sense. Let's get recapping. It's the moment of truth as Denji is on the precipice of man's destiny, his long-awaited dream ready to be grasped. After he has laid hands on glory, he's left stunned, shocked, and ultimately disappointed, disillusioned, dissatisfied, leaving the experience embittered, believing chasing his dream was more satisfying. Makima wonders what the hell he's talking about. He's talking about touching breasts. She convinces him it's always better to tango with someone you know, and Makima is willing to be that someone. For a price, Denji will need to kill the Gun Devil. This monster is responsible for the deaths of millions, including Aki's family. This devil can be tracked due to left-behind bullets created by its flesh. The more they collect, the easier it becomes to find it, as they have a magnetic-like attraction to the original body. This also includes an attraction to other gun flesh bullets, which if consumed would make that devil more powerful. Bringing us to a hotel where several civilian devil hunters have already been slaughtered. Our trio are joined by newbies Arai and Kobeni and veteran Himeno. After she gives an effective pep talk,
じゃあ、デンジ君が悪魔を倒したら、ベロ入れたキスしてあげる。
the troops are well motivated to find and take down the devil who ate the flesh bullet. During their investigation, Himeno reveals her ghost hand ability. However, Power is skeptical of her skills. Himeno finds her lack of faith disturbing. But in all the excitement, they may have chewed off more than they can handle.
俺たち今8階から9階へ行く階段を登りましたよね。ここも8階ですよ。
As they discover they're trapped on the 8th floor of the hotel. Let's start this review with Denji and fulfilling his goal. Alright, not gonna lie, my bias from watching other anime and reading other manga had me believe the heavens themselves were going to prevent this scene from playing out. But to my surprise, the events proceeded naturally and even better than I thought they would have. The immediate post-nut clarity from Denji was executed swiftly and perfectly. Episode 2 implied that Denji hadn't set a goal to fulfill himself beyond satisfying his basic needs like food, water, and shelter. Instead, he got distracted by his carnal urges. But now it seems the chickens have come home to roost, as he grows frustrated with the emptiness in his life. His conversation with Makima hints at the idea of gaining a meaningful relationship, while still feeding into his sexual compulsions like the promise of Frenching Himeno. I think there's been a steady growth for Denji. Recently, we've seen him seek respect from others, where originally he hasn't cared if he looked like a fool. He's started friendships with beings that at least can speak back to him. Denji is a far cry away from where he started already. However, I would be surprised if it's never addressed how easy it is to manipulate him. In this episode alone, we see how much of an easy mark he is. Which is a good segue into Makima. She's still as cold as ever, taking advantage of Denji's feeble-minded nature, again diving into that gray area, where she knows how to manipulate him to get what she wants, but it's not as if it's for a selfish cause. We're talking about taking down a devil that's massacred millions. I think the show is accomplishing to run this fine line with her character. She's clearly not sincere in any of her affectionate interactions, but the cause she's fighting for is genuine. Moving on to Aki, we get a glimpse into his past before his family was killed. We also learn he was a little rough, but mostly caring older brother. As well, Aki's family's death was a lot more abrupt than I was expecting, while still just as brutal. And hey, what's this? Aki is actually supervising Denji in power? Another step in the right direction. Outside of this, we don't get much of Aki in this episode. At this time, I can only speculate that the show will attempt to mirror his relationship with his brother with his friendship with Denji. I feel strongly about this based on what we've seen so far. Not much going on with the new guys. Arai's uptight, Kobeni's scared, and Himeno's horny. Well, that's not completely fair, as there are a few details to Himeno. She's gone through 5 partners that died in battle, and perhaps she's been jaded by the experience. yet still shows investment in the people she's trained. Onto the world building, the paperwork scene at least addressed the damages caused by Denji. It doesn't repair a lot of the problems I mentioned in the prior 2 reviews, but I do like the idea of these maniacs getting bogged down in bureaucracy. The contrast is at least a little funny. In the previous episode, Gunflesh was mentioned, and I thought I was having a stroke reading the subs because there wasn't any context. It's clear now they were referencing the Gun Devil, though the fear of firearms would already make for a really powerful devil on its own. Incorporating it in the context of an international news story was ingenious. Now the world fears guns even more, and the government is trying to repress people's fears by censoring the news. Great stuff I thought was absent from the last 2 episodes. Only thing I thought was missing was a chance to give the audience some sort of power scale. How does the Bat Devil compare to the Gun Devil? 1.2 million is an absurd amount of deaths, but imagine the carnage the Bat Devil could have demonstrated. I bring this up because I believe most will want to understand the level of danger that Denji is walking into, so that it will likely be more rewarding when our hero overcomes challenges. Could he survive a blast from the Gun Devil? I mean, he did survive this. Nevertheless, there's still plenty of time to expand on this. From the amount of mystique and importance placed on the Gun Devil, he's looking like an endgame boss. What can I say? I love what they're doing with Denji's character, expanding his view of his personal desires. I love what they've introduced to this world. I find the Gun Devil's an intriguing villain along with its personal connections to the cast. I love this episode. That's all for now.
Something tells me you're not a flowers kind of guy.